It's at noon here in Sweden. And I have done much work in my home, and I had to go and rest because my brain have got damage. And then to rest, I can still working because I can do podcasts, talk to you, and teach you about God and what's in heaven and what's going on in this world. With today, it's very much the devil. It's his time. Just now we live in, because we live in the last generation, in the last days. So he is very busy, the devil, to get people into his place. I don't like to say kingdom, but his area in hell. And he have many that he have, because I have learned that it have going on since people was born, and before that also. For me, example, my mother was 42 years old, and that in that time, in the 50s, it was very old, and they have adopted a daughter, 1947, and then my mother get a surgery to put together her inside her so she could have a child. So after 2 years she got my brother, and then they were okay with it, and they didn't want to have any more child. And my father was manager for the biggest insurance company in Sweden, and it's still going on. It's still the biggest in Sweden, and so they have this look like a very successful family, and it was so perfect to have a son and a daughter. So they didn't want any more child, and my mother, she thought, she was 42 years old when she have told me these things. She told me that as she was old, so when she didn't have that monthly bleeding, she only was thinking that she was in that age. So it started to be like not every month. It started to end, and then one day they have a big party for my father's insurance company. He had the party in my parents' home, and suddenly my mother became sick. She ran out and puking outside because they were not in our home. They were in our summer house. So it was out in the forest. So she ran out. And so when she puked, she said that to me, that she felt moving inside her. And she go to the doctor, and he say that she was pregnant again. And my mother didn't want to have one more baby, so she asked for abortion. But the doctor said that the baby is so big, so you must be more than in the 5th month, and you can't get any abortion. He told her, so they have to keep me. So that's how God did already before I was born. He hid me in my mother's womb so she couldn't abort me. So they have to take me, and they hate me. And of course my brother and sister heard that my father and mother was not happy to get one more child. And I understand that, because I understand my mother today, because she was 42 years old and have 3 kids in 5 years. And then my father was never at home. He have started already to drinking a lot, so he was never home and helped her. So she had, we can say, 4 kids. My father also as a kid, and my brother and sister, they started to hate me before I was born. So that's where we get the devil. It's not that we live in sin. It's I don't like when preachers say that we were born in sin, but there can be things around us, because a baby can, today we know it, that a baby can feel inside the womb before it's born. It can feel emotion. It can feel my mother's anger over to be pregnant, and those things. So the devil start already to work inside the womb. So it's not that we are born sinful people. It's because we are built of evil things that coming into us when we lay there. We should have a nice time, and only to grow to be a cute baby to come out, and we be attacked already in the womb. So yeah, I don't like it's a baby is in itself innocence. It have no sin. You can't say that a cute little baby is negative, bad. It's what's coming after. It's, so, as I say, in the womb, and then when it's grow up, it's coming to it, these evil things. And then, of course, we can choose wrong partner to have a child with, and then the child get the genes, the DNA from a bad person, that a sick person that should not be a parent. That can happen with a baby, but the baby is in itself cannot be evil just when it's born. And also I learned that we all are created from God. God knows everything. He has the control of knowing who we are. So we can't say that the devil create us, but he can hit us and change us from to be an innocent child to be evil, criminal, murder, thief. He steal. The devil is a thief, so he steal babies in that way that he attack them, so they going evil. Because when you have a wrong partner that is father or a mother to that child, it have nice inside it. So it's when it's be triggered the whole time, attacked, hit of the devil all the time. It's the mindset be different in it. But if it have a godly, loving parent, it will never be that way, because the mindset will be positive. It's very much about the mindset. If a person will be bad or good. And it's depend on what that child have around her and him, and the environment it grew up in. But a baby in itself, when it's be born, is not of sin. It's not evil. It's a clean vessel that will be what people around it make it to be. So my talk today was not about this with born, because I should continue with my story also. It was this Dolores in the devil's house. She find a man in her talking in the nights in this telephone chat, and suddenly she wanted to move away, so she started to sell her house, and the car dealer took back her. She had a Porsche car. She had a very luxury car, and her kids come and took the belongings to their home, and she said she is moving to Germany and she will never come back. She told us, and she said to me one day that I have found another place for you, because you can't stay in this house now because I'm selling it. So I'm going to give you another place to stay. And she said, I have a classmate, and I come to talk to him about you, and I told him that you needed a place to stay, she said. And so I put together my belongings, the few things I had, and we drive away to this. It was like a farm, out on the farm. A very nice house, but far away from any cities. And I hope I can remember that city that was the closest city to this farm. But I maybe say it next time I do the chapter, because this is also a long story about this place, and a dangerous place. And I was to a farm, and Dolores say, "What?" She said, because it was parking a golden Cadillac outside the house. And then this man should be in his 80s. And there come a man on a motor, like a scooter, lawnmower, that you cut grass, but you sit and drive. And he come and jump out from that. Yeah. And the Lord said, "What? This man should be 80, but he looked like he's 50. She says she was very shocked. And I didn't, after I understand why. And then we come into his kitchen. I must cough. And we come in its kitchen, and it's very, very strange what happened. When I come in and sit there, and we talk a little, and Dolores talk to him that I should stay in that house with him, and I say to this man, he was an old pastor. He had been a pastor for 40 years and have written some books also. He was a reverend pastor. And I say to him like I was in the spirit, but I didn't understand I was in the spirit. But it come over me. So I was saying this to him: "You are going to have me here in this house, and you're going to teach me about the Bible. And when you have done that, you are going to die." And and it was he looked at me and laughed a little about what I was saying, and that you should not say that if you want to stay in that place. Why should I say that he should die? It was not me. It was someone else that say that. And he laughed and said that you are going to stay here, he said to me immediately when he heard that I say that. And he be surprised because I have all my belongings in the car. And I took it in, and I got a beautiful home, a beautiful room, a very wealthy room, fancy room, and it's like a castle. And he'd be surprised, do you already have the belongings with you? He say. he was not had no thought about that when we come. He thought we should go and drive back and get my belongings. And then we have that in the car. And it show up that Dolores, they were not classmates. And they have not schoolmate. I mean, they were not. And she have met him on this telephone sex line, and he was there also and talking to women about sex and get sex, and so it was only a lie, everything. But I didn't know that in that time. I come to know it later on. She was like that, Dolores. When she was another personality, she walked around and talk about, and I don't know, maybe she say something to him that I should make sex with him. And so I moved in there, and it was very nice. First, he was a black man, and all people around that farm was black. I was only white in that area, and he was a very wealthy man. He had lots of fields, and I learned about picking cottons, but I didn't pick cottons. And I learned about he had peanuts fields also, and it's very much poison in those peanuts fields. If an animal was running into those fields, they die. So they learn to avoid those field animals after generations. But that's not good, how they handle the peanuts. And so people come and give him things. So people come and sit in the kitchen with us and talking, and I learn about this chit-chat, talking. They could talk for hours, those men, black men, and they sounds like they were angry sometimes, but they were not angry. It was a game, like a play they did to each other. And it was this about money to show how much money they have also. This man was wealthy, and Lowell was this man's name that I should live with, and I should be like a nurse to him because he had hard to breathe. And but of course he had also this multi-personality. So sometimes he was so old. He was in his 80s sometimes. So he couldn't breathe. And sometimes was he outside the whole day, and he was working with the boats. So people come with their boats that he should repair, help them to repair, because he had some garage storage houses where they were working. And I have to go out sometimes and tell him to come in to eat, because he didn't come in. And he was climbing up in the boats, building there. He was 50, like those other men, they were in the 50s. So most of the time he was 50. Their personality was 50. And then every evening we open the Bible, and he teach me about the Bible. And then he go. He have 4 different synthesizer, those organ style electric that he play on, and he was singing, and we could sit for 3-4 hours and play and sing. And sometimes I have to go to bed. I was sleepy, but he could still play when he was in his 50. He was okay. And then he one day when we sit in a kitchen, he make our food, and he was standing at the stove and making food, and then I say to him, now I understand this with the Bible. Those the disciple, Jesus' disciple, they were fishermen, and Jesus was talking about the fish, those net to he said that how to fish, put the net on the other side of the boat to get fish. And Jesus said that he should learn them to be a fisherman. And I said that net they had, that means the earth. It means our planet, because that's a longitude and latitude. Those net is what we have around our globe. It's a longitude and latitude. The line go down and the line go what to say? You know what I'm talking about. That I say that, and I understand this with the fisherman that is about to fish the whole world. The whole world is inside this fish net. And Lowell, he stopped what he was doing and looked at me, and he said that, you teach me. You are teaching me, a pastor for 40 years, about the Bible, he said to me. And he come and put together, closed the Bible, and I thought it was only that we should eat, but he was going into a room and put the Bible into the bookshelf, and then he never took out the Bible again. That was very strange that he was the teacher to me in the Bible, and suddenly that day I was the teacher of the Bible. We switched, and I didn't understood In that time, I didn't understood what's going on. I was innocent. I didn't have this in Sweden. I didn't have anything with the Bible to do in Sweden. I go directly from when God was talking to me. I go directly into United States. I didn't go to any church in Sweden after God have talking to me. I go directly to United States, and I didn't know what should happen. So then he started to drive to the city and buy things for his grave. And he started to he showed me where he should lay, and he have a private place for dead people, a private cemetery in the forest. And he say they coming here and dig a hole here for me to lay here. And he bought big chains that he wanted to have around his grave, and he even go and buy a gravehead, and preparing to die. So he knew that I come with a message the first day, but he didn't understood. Like many preachers, they don't understand that this is a spirit thing. When the spirit was talking, when I say that he's gonna die, first you're gonna teach me about the Bible, and then you're gonna die. And he didn't understood that he died in the spirit. He was thinking that he should die in his body. That's a total different from each other. So he was not the real preacher, because he didn't understood the spirit thing. And he died because he never come back and teach me about the Bible. Instead, he started to be more and more evil. Suddenly one day I saw all those boats was going away. He didn't want any man to be on his property. And first I didn't understood what it was going on. As I asked him, have they done all the boats? It was maybe 5-6 boats there they repaired. And I asked him. He say something. I don't remember what it was, because it was a lie anyway. So they walk away from the property. He started to say to me when we sit in the kitchen. He looked at me and his eyes was shining, and he said, "Do you want to marry me?" He said to me. So when he was in the 50s, he was in love with me. But I told him, "You are already married. You can't marry me." He had a wife, but she was not living with him. And I thought that she was sick, so she couldn't be living with him anymore. But that was not true, because I found out later on that his daughter had taken the mother to her home because the father was so evil. And they had 5 sons and 1 daughter. And it was only 1 son that was going into that home, to that house where Lovell and I lived, because it was so evil. He was so evil. He was bad to his sons also. But it was the oldest son. He was in that time, he was in Washington and Pentagon, and he was taking care of the financial department for George Bush. He was and still are very high up in the society. He lived maybe now also. He lived in Washington, and he had a house with 25 rooms, and he was single also. He had 2 sons, twin sons, but he was single father, and he was the only one because the father thought it was a successful son, so he never did bad things to him. He held back the different personalities. When his son was at home, he was the real man, the real person when the son came. And so I am going to end here, but there is something coming in here now. I don't know what it is. It's something. Someone want to talk. He's about son. He pointed out the word the son, and he said that he is talking. He is saying this with son because he is the son. The Son of God is here. And he's shaking his head, and I said, he don't want to mess with that, he say. About what? He say about those evil things that happen. He take a stand here about evil things that I'm going to talk about it in next episode, this, because I'm soon out of time to speak about those many evil things that was going on in that place that ended my staying. I don't know what he is doing. He shake his head, and then he showed me his hand also, this way to say, no, I don't want to speak. And why he show up then? Why do you show up when you don't want to speak? And he said that he's here to see if everything is okay. it's coming back again, and there is someone he want to talk to. Then he showed me, he bowed down like he in a prayer. And then he showed me like he pray at the bed. And he's saying to me that person he wanted to talk to, she's praying. Every evening she go down on her knees and hold her hands up on the bed and prayer, he tell me. And I'm going to meet her. Now it's very much over me he is to talk, to say something. He still want to say. He said first he didn't want to talk. But he said that it's an old woman. He is saying that you should know this person because it's about what I have. Eva. He said that Eva is talking about in this episode about being in the 80s, about this man that I will live with. It's the same signal, it's the same way this person are. Not evil, he said. Not evil. She is not evil, but she have all this about age and living alone. It's and she the only one she have is me, and she turns to me in her loneliness. She have people, but they don't care for her, and she bowing down every evening and talk to me before going to bed. He said to me, I don't do that. It's not me he talking about. I lay in my bed and talk to God. I don't talk to Jesus, I talk to God. But this woman talked to Jesus. So it's about take care of that woman, you know. There is many lonely people, and just now in this time with this pandemic, this virus, many old people are lonely, and this woman is a humble, meek, so kindly loving person, and she have done so many things for other people. She have been in the congregation in a church. He said to me their whole life, and she has worked so much for people. But now when she is old and needy, there is no one there for her. All those people she have helped, they have forgotten her. He's saying to me. So that's what the message was to there is so many There is some people that is like this, that have done so much work for other people, and no one care for them when they are out, when they are too weak to go to the church and help. Then they forget them. That's what he come through to tell. And was it everything you wanted to say to these people? He's calmed down now. It's the energy is not here anymore. So that's it wasn't surprising visit here, but it can happen because I am a prophet, so I hear from God and I see things. And I have very close contact with heaven, with the spirit things, the spirit world. So thank you for listening. It will come more. You will understand everything what's going on today. It's about today. It's not about the past. It's what's going on today in the last days. God bless you. Thank you for listening.